Hello and welcome to Bird Talk Radio. I am your host, Joshua Martin. I'll be going over the games, the scores, and, everything Philadelphia Eagles. Go Birds. Now let's start the show. Yes, and welcome to another edition of Bird Talk Radio. I am your host for this evening, Joshua Martin. Let's see. Well, we're not going to be I'll try to do my best of but talking about every sport out there. Football is my specialty, but I will conquer everything. I'm going to talk about the World Cup. Who made it to the quarterfinals? I'm going to talk about free agency in baseball. And I'm going to give you the NBA standings as they are right now with, who being the best team in the league. Not the Sixers, but the damn Boston Celtics. They're looking nice out there. Looking real good, too, in the East. But we'll start our show off with what happened this past Thursday night. Football. It was the Bills and the Patriots. It was in New England. Although it was in New England, the Buffalo still came out and just had not a dominant offense, but they said they had the offense that Buffalo should have every single game. And they won 24-10. Josh Allen threw for 2 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs was obviously one of those receivers for the touchdowns. He had 7 receptions, 92 receiving yards, and that 1 touchdown. All right, besides the Bills, I'll cover them more in my top 5 teams in a little bit. They made it back. Just you'll see where in a little bit. Steelers and Falcons. It was kind of like a back-and-forth game. It was a pretty good game between both of them. Do the two teams are fighting anything? No. They're just fighting for another win, really. I guess the Falcons, they are actually fighting for a playoff spot. If you look at the NFC South, everyone's 5-8 and 4-7. Just all the teams in that division are not doing the greatest. Even the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is kind of a surprise, obviously, with, who at quarterback for them. But the Steelers won that one 19-16. Kenny Pickett threw a touchdown. There's nothing really else to say besides that. I think Marcus Mariota, he was fine. But yeah, the Steelers won that one 19-16. Yeah. Packers and Bears. That was supposed to be it was a good game. It was a good game. It looked promising for Chicago to finally get that win on Aaron Rodgers, but they just the fourth quarter, Packers scored 18. Chicago didn't score at all. It's just kind of sad because even at the end, you can look at the highlights. I think Aaron Rodgers, he was saluting all to Chicago, saying, bye-bye, losers. Justin Fields, quarterback for Chicago, not the greatest. 20-25, 254 passing yards. That's very promising on a stat sheet, right? But no, he had 2 interceptions as well, too. But moving on to another game, Jaguars and Lions were just dominant offense by the Lions, and one thing with that is because Trevor Lawrence went down with a nasty-looking injury on his knee. I haven't heard of anything yet. Don't know what's going on with him at this moment. There is one quarterback that did go out with a foot-ending injury. I'll talk about that a little later. But Jaguars and Lions, just like I said, dominant performance. Jared Goff threw for 2 touchdowns, over 300 passing yards. St. Brown, I believe I don't know if this was his first game back, but he's back. 114 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Even DeAndre Swift, the running back for Detroit, came in and scored a touchdown there. Not quite on the Eagles yet, but that beautiful man, A.J. Brown right there, dominant performance against his old team, Tennessee Titans. We'll cover him in just a little bit, but the Jets and the Vikings, wow. Yes, Mike White did have 2 interceptions, but he had a chance. He had that chance. And I can't remember the receiver's name right now that dropped the catch to get to take the lead. Not his fault though. They had an opportunity. They were in the red zone for at least from the time stamp of 3 minutes and 40 seconds. They had plenty of time to get in the end zone. There's nothing I can really say. Knight, the running back for the Jets, he's looking really good. So once Breece Hall, I know he's out for the season. Obviously, look next season for him, but those might be 2 good companies. Garrett Wilson, another outstanding performance, 8 receptions, 162 receiving yards. The Jets they're a nice looking team, and if the offense stays heavy, they're a playoff team with Mike White behind quarterback, because he has shown himself to be a good quarterback. He showed himself last year, but obviously they had to stick with Zach Wilson, who they gave up a number 2 overall pick for. So they had to use him, but Mike White's decent. He's decent. If they can get the ball rolling, they were in Minnesota going against a team that's probably going to win their division, have a good seed in the playoffs. They played good against them, and let me see. Robert Saleh is a defensive genius mind. I think just if you keep Mike White in there for a little bit longer, get comfortable with that offense, it's going to be good looking for them, especially when they already have a 7-5 record. That I know they're shooting for more of a wild card spot, but they have a good chance. They really do. But they did lose the Minnesota Vikings. The score of that game was 27-22. Commanders and Giants. As a Philly fan, I guess I'm happy how it ended because it ended in a tie. But I know for all the Giants fans out there, I know they're kind of disappointed coming back and ending in a tie, especially in the Meadowlands in New York. They want to get that win. They're in a tough conference as is, as surprising as it is of how good Philly, Dallas, even these 2 teams, Cowboys and Giants, Commanders and Giants are doing. It's a tough division right now, and they need to win. This tie helps. It's not a loss, yes, but I know New York was looking for a good win there. Obviously, probably looking for a wild card spot now. Taylor Heineke finally threw a touchdown again, but that tie in that one. Just nothing could have been done in the overtime at all. All right, now we can pull up that beautiful image of A.J. Brown. Titans versus Eagles. This man went against his old team, and literally they fire the general manager for the Titans after this game just because they were like, look, you traded this man away, and look what he just did to us. This man right here, Devontae Smith, I love you to death, but I don't think Devontae Smith is a wide receiver 1. He's a little on the smaller side. Okay, I'm a twink too, supposedly, but this man is just an absolute savage. If you look it up, watch his second touchdown, he just absolutely ripped it out of the defender's hands. Two touchdowns on the night, 8 receptions, 119 receiving yards. We even held what's his face, Derrick Henry, to only 30 yards and 11 carries. The rushing on both sides didn't do good, 87 from Tennessee and 67 from Philly, but we held them. That's all that matters. If you go on to the next image, I want to show another beautiful man on the screen. because he threw 29 to 39, 380 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. Again with the stats, don't quote me on this because this is all from memory, but I believe he's tied for Cam Newton for the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in their first 31 starts. No, because it might be 31 touchdowns. No, maybe the first 31 starts. No, he definitely, he's way too young to have 31 starts. 31 touchdowns in some amount of starts. He's tied with Cam Newton. But we remember how good Cam Newton was coming out of Auburn, especially that 2015 year by him. I know Cam Newton now is, I don't know. But that 2015, even coming out his rookie year, absolute dominant just because his size and physique, you know? But Jalen Hurts, not the biggest man in the world, but he's a solid, good look for a quarterback. And he's tough, and he's competitive. And that's definitely what we need in Philly. Beautiful win, 35-10 over the Tennessee Titans. We go to 11-1 on the season. How did we lose to Washington, bro? We could have been 12-0. Broncos and Ravens. Another quarterback we lost. Not really lost. Lamar Jackson is a foot sprain. I think he's only sidelined for 1 to 3 weeks, depending on how he recovers, how well he recovers. I would give him at least 2 weeks. I know that's another conference they're trying to win out, but Cincinnati's looking hot in the AFC North, so got to watch out for that maybe a little bit. But the Broncos, I mean, Russell Wilson, 17 to 22, 189 yards. Lamar Jackson goes down for the Ravens. Broncos can't score a touchdown. They get 3 field goals out of. That's the only thing. That's the only way they score. But Lamar goes down. Tyler Huntley, who's not bad. I think he should be a starter quarterback for some team. I don't know what team, but I think Tyler Huntley's good. Comes in and gets a game-winning drive against Denver. Denver moves to 3-9 on the season. They're already out of playoff contention. It's not looking pretty for them at all. At all. But yeah, the Ravens get the win in that one. Browns and Texans, the return of words I can't say. I just wish he was in jail and not returning for Week 13 in the NFL. Deshaun Watson came back. He didn't play good at all, thank God. But the defense won that game for Cleveland. I believe they had 2 pick sixes. I know they have 2 defensive returns that went for touchdowns, and they had a punt return as well. He hasn't played in 700 days, I think it was. So it's going to be tricky coming back, but I hope he doesn't do good. I hope he. I'm not talking about that game. Seahawks and Rams. Another Denver fans or Bronco fans and Rams fans probably have it the worst right now. Probably the Rams fans more than anyone because they came off that Super Bowl win. Actually, I don't know who has it worse. But Rams lose another one. Seahawks win it. Seahawks probably favorites now with Jimmy Garoppolo going down. Geno Smith looking nice again. 28 to 39, 367 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns. Another beautiful game. Tyler Lockett, 128 receiving yards. Amazing game. They came out with the win on that one, 27 to 23 over the Rams. Seahawks moved to 7-5. Rams moved to 3-9. But Rams are out. Seahawks, the talk right now is the 49ers, who just had a beautiful win beautiful win over the Miami Dolphins. Next game, talking about 33 to 17, the win over that one. Tua looked nice. Tyreek Hill even looked nice. 9 reception, 146 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. But obviously the concern from Miami is their offensive line. They signed Eric Fisher, I believe, to help out. They had some linemen go down. So I know that's their issue right now. But the bigger news is 49ers, and they lost Jimmy Garoppolo on the season. He has foot-ending surgery. That's what they called it. So with him out and Trey Lance out for the season from his injury earlier on, I don't know what San Francisco could do. I don't know what their third stringer can do. Mr. Irrelevant, he was the last pick in the NFL draft. But the Seahawks have a bright future for the NFC West and the division that they're in, especially with the Cardinals having a rocky season, Rams having definitely a rocky season. Everyone's injured there. And then the 49ers now losing both of their quarterbacks. So Seahawks have a clear path to a division win in there, but they just got to keep the pedal going. Geno Smith has to keep going. Chiefs and Bengals, really good game. Bengals won that fourth straight win, and Joe Burrow goes 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes, which I'm happy for. I'm a huge Joe Burrow fan, huge Jamar Chase fan who finally came back after his injury. Played decent, 7 receptions, 97 receiving yards, but they got the win over Kansas City, 27-24. Ow! Raiders and Chargers, Davante Adams and Josh Jacobs both had beautiful games in that one. They got the win over the Chargers 27-20. Josh Jacobs, 26 carries, 144 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown. And Davante Adams, 8 receptions, 177 passing yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Beautiful by him. That's what they needed to see from the rest of the earlier this season, but I don't know. And then another one, Colts and Cowboys. At the start of the fourth, I believe it was 21-19. Colts had a chance. They had the chance. Jeff Saturday had the chance to show how he could come out and beat a dominant team, a good team, a team that's hot right now. And then the fourth quarter came. They outscored the Colts 33-0 in the fourth quarter. They won it 54-19. Dallas. I'm scared. I'm scared of that team. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of scared of that team, especially if they feed Tony Pollard more the way they are. I'm scared. Not gonna lie. Kind of scared. And then last night, another miraculous comeback by the legendary quarterback himself, Tom Brady. Fourth quarter, scored 2 touchdowns. Comeback win against the Saints, 17-16. I'm guessing Buccaneers are going to win the NFC South. I wouldn't see why not, especially with Tom Brady there and all the other teams. You got the Falcons. You have Marcus Mariota starting quarterback there. You got the Saints, who Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston don't know what's going over there. Who's the other team in there? Oh, and the Panthers. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, but another beautiful week. A lot of flips and flops. I'll give you my top 5 teams in a little bit. But I'm also going to go over World Cup so far and a little bit MLB free agency. I think right now I'm going to go on a quick commercial break. But when we come back, I'll give you more up-to-date news on sports. So, in a world.
Here's everyone. I'm your host, Daniel.
That is terrible. Where movies and trivia collide.
I'm a vampire.
Twilight.
2 ridiculously good-looking game show hosts.
I'm your host, Daniel.
And I am Joshua Martin.
Will tackle the challenge of being the best at movie trivia.
All right, this is about a board game that comes to life.
This guy repeats his day over and over and over again.
The power of Christ compels you.
Movie Wars. Welcome back to Bird Talk Radio. I'm your host, Joshua Martin, of this evening. Oh, where did I go? Where did I go? Where am I? FIFA. Do I want to talk about it? No, because USA's out, and do I care now? You know what? That'd be pretty cool. Leo Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo playing each other in the finals. That would be really cool because they both talked about maybe this being their last World Cup. Messi's coming to Miami, I believe, to play in the MLS. That would be pretty cool to see, especially from being from South Florida. You get to witness greatness, soccer greatness, hopefully. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Netherlands did move on. They did beat the U.S., sadly. So they'll be playing Argentina this coming Friday at 2 o'clock. And then an earlier game that same day, we have Croatia going against the World Cup favorites, Brazil. On Saturday, we have our Group B buddies, England, going against France. That'd be a cool little French Revolutionary War. England's just trying all the wars again, trying to get their colonization back. But they're going to go against France. Earlier that day as well, on Saturday, we got Morocco, who surprisingly beat Spain in PKs, penalty kicks. But they're going to go against Portugal. And Ronaldo, I don't think he played because I think he was coming off the bench. He may have been subbed in. I didn't watch the game, but they just dominated against Switzerland. Portugal did 6-1 on that one. They played earlier today. But yeah, they're going to go against Morocco Saturday at 10 a.m. On to baseball. I did have a photo. Can we pull up the photo of Trey Turner? Because we're going to talk a little bit about baseball. That man right there is coming to Philly. Trey Turner, we signed him 11 years. Let me get the correct stuff right here. I'm just going to read it straight out from ESPN itself. Shortstop Trey Turner and the Philadelphia Phillies have agreed on an 11-year, $300 million contract. I don't know where we got the money from. I thought we already lost all the money, giving it to Harper and Realmuto. But $300 million contract that includes a full no-trade clause, source tells ESPN. Huge. Massive. Really happy we got him. Shortstop, who did we have at shortstop? Gene Segura. Oh, we had Stott? Was Bryson Stott there? No, we had the rookie. Oh, I can't think of his name, but we're going to have Trey Turner at shortstop now. Alec Bohm, third bases probably. Segura at second. And I'm guessing we're still going to keep Rhys Hoskins at first base. Well, I don't know what we're going to do with him, but let's see what happens. Just adds another dominant. Oh, is he going to be lead off or is Kyle Schwarber going to lead off? Oh, this is going to be exciting. Next year is just going to be another offensive powerhouse by us. Definitely a boost on the defensive side of things, too. Trey Turner is beautiful. Speed kills. Amazing. Some other deals that went on. New York Mets, beautiful, or they had, what did they have? They sent one away and they received one. What I think they did is received one that was better and sent one away where I think they won. I think the Mets won, basically. Two-time Cy Young winner Jacob deGrom signed a 5-year, $185 million deal with the Texas Rangers. So he's the one that's gone. Now, you want to know who came into New York, though? Who I think is much better than deGrom? Not speed-wise and velocity-wise. Yes, deGrom's a harder pitcher to face against, but just the mastermind, the veterancy, the championship mentality that you're bringing to this team. I'll read it. Justin Verlander and the New York Mets are in agreement on a 2-year, $86 million contract. Yeah, that's it. That's it. But Justin Verlander is going to the New York Mets. He's out of Houston, going to the Mets. And I think it's an upgrade. I think it's an upgrade from deGrom. I think they still have Max Scherzer. We saw them two partner up with Detroit a while back. That team has a special place in my heart. But they were just dominant together. They're back again together. And they still have dominancy in the Mets bullpen. Let's see. Boston Celtics are doing good. Milwaukee Bucks are doing good. Phoenix Suns. New Orleans Pelicans are the number 2 team in the West. Ooh. Memphis just got a dominant win over the Miami Heat, so they move up as well. I don't think there's any really surprising. There's some surprising names in the West. I'll say that. In the East, it's kind of what you thought. We would thought Brooklyn Nets and the 76ers would be a little higher. Cleveland Cavaliers are kind of a surprise. They're the number 3 team in the East as of right now. But yeah, I don't think in the East there's really that much surprise. It's where the Western Conference is the real shocker. I mean, the Sacramento Kings are in 5th place. The Lakers are in 3rd to last. They're right next to the Houston Rockets, who I can't say anything because the Rockets just beat my Sixers. But Memphis Grizzlies, I know we were looking at them being good, probably a play-in team because I don't know who I know they have Ja Morant, who's just unbelievable right now, but kind of a surprise them at 3rd. The Pelicans, a surprise at 2. Kinda, not really. But the Suns are up there. It's just kind of a little shaky in the West. Even the Golden State Warriors, they're 10th. They're the last play-in spot. By 3, 4, 7, A, B,
5.
Q, T, R, S?
5.
Oh. Yeah. The Western Conference is a little surprising. Can we pull up the top 5 teams and then I'll wrap up this show? So yeah, I got the Eagles. We're the best team. There's literally you can't deny that we're not the best team in the league. And if you think I'm wrong, I want you to contact me. birdtalkradio2022@gmail.com or call into the studio, You can get a live on interaction. I can yell at you. I can curse you out. Not really, but I'd like to. What's the number? 888-994-4995, Studio A. Just call in. But yeah, the Eagles are the best team in the league. There's literally no denying it. The Dallas Cowboys I have at number 2 because they're scary. Like I said before, Dak is back, and he has his confidence back after breaking his thumb. And the defense is dominant. Dan Quinn is doing an amazing job as a defensive coordinator for Dallas right now. I have the Chiefs at 3 still. I know they did go into Cincinnati and lose, but Cincinnati's always a wild card, I have high hopes for the highest hopes for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and the whole team. They're one of my favorite teams as of right now. Joe Burrow is my favorite young quarterback, obviously besides Jalen Hurts. But they're definitely a wild card. The Chiefs are more complete. I got the Bills being back in the 4th spot. They are the number 1 seed now, technically in the AFC. Best team in the AFC East. I think they're going to win the conference. I think they're going to win the AFC division title. So I have them in the number 4 spot. And the Miami Dolphins. So I wanted to put the Niners at the 4th spot and Bills at 5. But Garoppolo is obviously out, and we have no idea what they're going to do for quarterback issues. I mean, Panthers, they could have got Baker Mayfield, but he went to the Rams. I mean, the 49ers could have easily got a number 1 overall pick and put him into this spot where he has a chance to shine and showcase himself once again to bring a team to the playoffs, but they didn't get him. He's going to the Rams. So yeah, that's my top 5 teams. I don't know, just come on and talk to me about it. So this has been Bird Talk Radio. I'm your host, Joshua Martin. If you want to be on the show, just contact me, birdtalkradio2022@gmail.com, or follow all of my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't have a Twitter. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Thank you for watching Bird Talk Radio. Again, I am your host, Joshua Martin. If you want to contact me or be on the show, just email me at birdtalkradio2022@gmail.com, or you can call in during the show at 888-994-4995 in Studio A. Have a wonderful day, and remember, go Birds.